All the time new information is being leaked and new theories of what is going to be the reboot of Power Rangers. Among all that information, no one has mentioned Zordon, and this is something very strange since he is the most known mentor of the franchise. We know that the reboot is going to target a more adult audience, that there will be some changes and that some characters might not appear anymore. We also know that everything is going to be different, the characters are going to be different, and that this is not going to be a renewal of the mighty Morphin team. Even so, there are essential things to be able to create Power Rangers without losing the way of the franchise and still being Power Rangers. We've talked many times on this channel about the things that are essential for Power Rangers to remain Power Rangers and not become something else. Even despite the failure that was the 2017 movie, there are things it had so that it could be Power Rangers. A Power Ranger story is made up of several elements which I'm going to mention below, and while not all of them are mandatory, the story must have quite a bit of these elements for it to remain Power Rangers. The first thing is that it must have a group of Rangers, no matter the amount since that has varied in all seasons, but the most common is to have 5 main Rangers and an additional Ranger who will be the 6th Ranger, basically a special Ranger. Another important element is to have a mentor and a helper so that the team can understand things that are normally difficult for humans to understand. Usually, mentors and assistants are different beings, from other planets or maybe old Rangers with a lot of experience who have traveled through space. It is not mandatory for the team to have both characters, as in some Ranger teams there is only one mentor or sometimes there is only one helper. Regardless of which of these characteristics the team has, it must have at least one of them for everything to be complete. Another important element is to have a command center or base, and this will help the team to return to a place to plan their next move. Usually, these command centers are hidden somewhere on the ground so that enemies cannot easily find them. Another important detail that any Ranger team must have been the Morphers, and there must be something that connects them to the grid. We don't know if the connection to the grid will be different in this reboot, we don't even know if the grid will exist, but this is possibly the most important element. The grid is the core of the Power Rangers franchise, and although many think that the Rangers are the central idea of the franchise, they are not. The most important thing in Power Rangers is the grid, because that is where all the power comes from and every being in the universe seeks to obtain or destroy this power. Basically, all beings in the universe live thinking with this energy in mind, and some dedicate their whole lives to studying it. The reboot should give more importance to the Morphin grid, because with this they can create more complete and different stories. We have even noticed that in the comics they have done it this way, and that is why there are impressive stories like Shattered Grid where they knew how to use the whole grid theme in different ways. All these are things that have not yet leaked any information, and for now we have only had details about the new Rangers. Obviously, it is quite early, and we know that for now we may not have much information about the new Power Rangers in 2025. Despite this, Power Rangers fans have thought that they would get information about more important things, such as information about what the new universe is going to be like, the grid, and the new mentor. These 3 things are much more influential than any Power Rangers team, as they are things that may not have as much prominence but make the series interesting or boring. If the Rangers don't have a good mentor, then the series can be boring or weak, and we could see this in Dino Fury. For this series to be perfect, they should have had a mentor, since Solon is only a helper, and although she sometimes advises the Rangers, she is not really a mentor. This is why the Rangers in Dino Fury were always confused and had to go through many difficult situations, because they didn't have a mentor who could guide them by explaining everything that was going on. Even in Cosmic Fury, we could see that Billy took part of the responsibility of being a mentor, and even though he was always not a mentor, still, there was a big change in the team. Billy was the one who connected the Rangers back to the grid and was also able to anticipate things that the other Rangers could not be due to their lack of experience. Despite this, none of these actions compare to what a real mentor can do, a being with thousands of years of life and who has a great knowledge of the universe. I'm not just talking about Zordon, I'm also talking about other mentors who have appeared in different seasons in Power Rangers, who know about different powers and how the universe works. Despite this, I think adding a Zordon-like mentor to the new universe in the reboot would be the smartest decision, since they would have an excellent character. If we could have the perfect mentor for this new Power Rangers series, what would it be like? I want you to write your answer in the comments, and now I'm going to give you my answer. A great mentor could be a being from another planet, even from another galaxy, who knows the grid perfectly and has thousands of years of life. It must be a mentor who stays in the command center leading the Rangers, but who at the same time can be the most powerful being in battle and who only leaves the command center in moments of extreme danger. Someone so powerful that he can defeat the worst enemies, but at the same time have some weakness, so that the story is not boring, because someone so powerful then he would have no rivals and none of the story would make sense. The weakness of this mentor could be the time he can use his great power, since, being so powerful, then he needs to recharge all that energy, and this is why he must always stay in the command center. In the command center he must have some space where he can connect to the grid and recharge all that energy while he is there. This was one of Zordon's great weaknesses, as he was a very powerful being, but at the same time very weak. Zordon had a great knowledge of everything, but any enemy could destroy him if he reached the command center. Even this example we could see in the 1995 movie, when the villain easily managed to enter the command center and almost wiped out Zordon. For now, we don't have any information about the new mentor of the Power Rangers in this reboot, but let's hope he will be an amazing mentor who can give the franchise the energy it deserves, and that with this, the series can be one of the best. We also must see what personality they put into that mentor, since, being a series aimed at adults, possibly some things are going to change. Almost all Power Rangers mentors have always been passive beings, who speak calmly and always seek to do the right thing without making mistakes. The new universe being directed for an adult audience, then we could have a mentor like the Zordon we saw in the 2017 movie. A mentor who had no patience, was a bit immature, distrustful, and who yelled a lot. Write in the comments your answer to the question we asked, like this video and subscribe to know more about the Power Rangers reboot.